Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and this is a special, not quite a one-off, but just a several episode. I actually want the sun to be set here behind the mountains as we launch this ship in 3, 2, 1, launch. And now I can describe what we're doing as this thing goes up into the sky. We are doing a Dres mission. This is just a one mission thing. Actually, it's 3 missions, but they're all to Dres. And this is to show Dres appreciation. There's a challenge, I guess, in the forums to show your appreciation for the planet Dres. And I figured, you know what? I haven't done a special one-off in quite a while, and the last one I did was actually almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, if you really, when it comes down to it, and that was my asteroid glider, the Astro-Glider. So I figured, what better way to show appreciation to Dres than with a Astro-Driver? I'm actually going to turn on SAS so we can keep this guy from tilting over too much, because 13, 14, we're actually pretty fine, actually. Let's go ahead and just aim prograde from now. And drop that. Let's go. So this is the first of 3 ships we're sending up. The first one here is just a simple probe whose goal is to go to Dres and find a Dresteroid. The second ship is actually going to be a refueler that we're going to get up into orbit so that when we launch our third and final ship, that third and final ship will be able to get to Dres, capture the asteroid, land it on Dres, and then drive it around, ideally Elcano style, around the entire planet. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might get bored. It might flip over. I don't know. Oh, lots of explosions. We like explosions. So this guy here is pretty simple. He's just a ship, obviously, whose entire goal is to launch from the launch pad at sunset into a Dres intercept, or at least close to a Dres intercept. I haven't really checked out the thing. I just kind of agreed with the transfer window planner. It told me to go now, so I'm going now, and I set up 2 more windows, so if we miss this one, we got this window here to send the guys. And I don't know if we're going to make it all the way to that ship this episode, but because I'm going to launch the refueler just to get it into orbit so that we have something to rendezvous with the main ship when the time comes. But this is kind of the boring part, so I'm going to keep burning this guy. This fuel's actually going to run out before we get out of Kerbal Sphere of Influence, so I'll come back when I'm ejecting this. Okay, about 20 seconds before, you see that we've got a nice arc going off this way that we're going to eventually be going to Dres. We've also got a periapsis under 60, which will probably be about 60 when we ditch this thing in 10 seconds. I brought you back because I wanted to show it to you because it's kind of goofy the way I eject this thing. In 3, 2, 1, woohoo! And then you're like, oh no, it's going to hit the ship, and then it doesn't hit the ship. And then that'll actually, in the game, it'll never actually burn up or anything. But in the real world, it would. So I'm gonna feel free to delete it. Also, because this is a one-off episode, I'm not feeling any particular need to what's the word? I should probably target Dres. What do you say about that? I don't feel any particular need to worry about debris. If debris happens, debris happens. I don't care enough to to send the very best. Looks like we're going to have a nice apoapsis right at our descending node. I'm going to drop a quick save here because fuel is not super tight, but might as well try to be a little bit miserly with it and try to nail this encounter right here. Come on, show me the... See, that kind of thing is why... What am I supposed to do with that information? Oh well, I guess we'll just do another orbit around. We've got plenty of time, right? If we we do this, and then burn out like this, we get an encounter here in 5 years. So that's perfectly fine. We got nothing but time. This is a big sandbox game. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got a 1391 meter per second burn. That's going to get us basically a Dres encounter on the next orbit. It's a long way away. It's a year and change away. So I'll be back as there goes. Oh, that's Moon actually. There goes Kerbin. I will be back as we're. Tell you what, you've seen me do these before. I'll be back when this guy's coming in to do Dres's Sphere of Influence. Okay, we are just a few minutes from the Sphere of Influence change here. Things went pretty uneventfully. So we're going to come down. Might as well actually see Dres approach. Look at that. There she is. The planet that nobody ever visits, except for me, with an asteroid in tow. For no reason other than I felt like it. What do we got? Maneuver node, 3 minutes before the node. Does it really matter that much? All we want to do is get into orbit. Let's go ahead and crank this up here. All we want to do is get into orbit so we have a presence in the system here. Boom, done. We're in orbit, and I'm pretty sure we can max time warp. Yes, we can. Okay. And look at that, we've already seen one, and it's a Class D. We cannot do a Class D. We're pretty much looking at Class Cs here. You might not know this, but there are no Class A's or B's orbiting Dres. They're all... There we go. Let's view this in tracking station. I've never actually used this button. Does this just take you right to the tracking station? It does. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and track it. Nice and equatorial, although I think all Dresteroids are equatorial. So we're going to track this guy. ORX 022. That's his designation. Let's just change him to Astro-Driver C. So we never forget that he's a C-type asteroid. And that's our target. So now we need to, I think I'm going to eschew transfer windows and just do this the way I would normally, which is when Kerbin and Dres when Kerbin is in the right location to launch to Dres, which is here or here, I think we're just going to time warp until Kerbin gets to here, and then launch then. Probably a little bit early because we need to launch the fuel ship. Okay, that's probably early enough. So let's get the sun to rise, and then launch the fueler. That didn't count. Okay. Oh, look, we blew up the launch pad. Let's try reverting to vehicle assembly, and then launching from here. There we go. Here's our fueler ship. We are going to, we're just going to send this guy off. It is morning, which is perfect time. Everything on this mission, I'll tell you, let me launch it first. I forgot to set the default to maximum. Everything on this mission is powered by the pub nuke, the radioisothermic generator, because I didn't want to deal with solar power, to be honest. That's the only reason. Oops, should probably have this guy gravity turning his way over. There's not much to do on this guy. He's fairly simple. His entire existence is here to put fuel in the eventual ship that's going to that's going to be going to Drez. He's very simple. He has a lot more thrust to weight than he probably needs, which I don't really care. That sounds fine by me. I'm being a little bit stringent on my gravity turn here because of the fact that his thrust to weight is so crazy. I'm already over 2. Which of course means we're lower in the atmosphere than we would normally be for this kind of a turn, but hey, who cares? One cool thing, I am going to drop a quick save. And one thing is, this guy is kind of designed to drop his tanks without too much fuss here. Let's go ahead and get this down to 35, and now 20. And we're going to be dropping the tanks in a second here. Woohoo! Yeah, see, you couldn't really tell, but they dropped downward because of the force of the atmosphere on them. We're already at 50. Now our thrust weight has really dropped, but it's still over 1, and we're still pushing our apoapsis away from us, which is perfectly fine. We also got this cap on here, which you'll see in a moment how that thing works. We're at 60, so I'm just going to put this guy on the horizon, and I will see you when I'm dropping these. Okay, all the atmospheric effects are gone. I'm going to ditch the shroud. That's all that's under here is an engine. And then I'm going to ditch this, which, yeah, it's got Separatrons on it, so let's ditch that. Woohoo! I never use Separatrons. They're so fun. Oh, wow, 90 kilometers. That's a little bit higher than I wanted to be. I was too busy watching that. This guy is not quite out of fuel, so actually it looks like we might have some fuel still in here. And I will happily take this up to the other ship, just for the fun of it, more than anything else. He also has monoprop, which I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I figured, hey, it's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. 3, 2, 1, mark. This guy prograde so we don't get any weirdness. Guess we'll go for a 90 by 90 orbit. 91 by 89 works for me. Now, is this guy worth anything? 408 fuel units for all the extra pain. Let's just ditch it. Now, we also need to control from the other guy, which I think is this guy. Yeah. Now we're this way. I actually put 2 probe cores on here so that this guy would be here. And what we're going to do here is, as he's rotating himself prograde, we are going to, as soon as he gets to the 90 degree here, we're going to hit the gas just a little bit. And he's probably going to bump that, isn't he? Oh well. What does it matter? Yeah, this is now debris. I'm gonna happily go to the tracking station and delete it, and then we're gonna launch the main ship. And that main ship is this guy. He is crazy. He is huge. He is crazy huge, and he's got all it's gonna take to get to Drez here. Let's turn the ambient light back down a little bit because we're in the daytime. We've got Jeb, we've got Bill, we've got Bob, we've got Valentina, and we've got Darod, who I forgot to rename to me. So he'll be HMV when we start the next episode and I launch this thing to Drez. We are thumbing our noses at atmosphere, the new atmosphere in 1.0, and we are just launching something that looks like I would have launched it in 0.90. I hope you're looking forward to watching this thing launch. I'm definitely looking forward to launching it. I'm HMV, and I, as always, talk at you later.